Good evening. I'm Joe Netherworld, and I'm here with your daily tarot card reading for Thursday, July 3rd, 2014 for specifics. Forgive me, I'm a little glossy, or I should say, I'm sweating. It was 94 degrees today. We had hellacious thunderstorms, which I did a little bit of black magic in, because nothing beats a little bit of a thunderstorm on a near fatal level, lightning strikes to send home your points sometimes. But I'm a little glossy, a little glowing, as it were. That would be a nice term for a sweet Southern lady, but I'm more like sweating because it's hot and humid. Even here in my crypt, I have a lot of lights on, candles, lighting, dressed for the occasion in a most casual manner. Anyway, so forgive me as I work on a few things here, especially our daily tarot reading, and that's what we're here for, right? And we know, just to recap this for anyone who's viewing new, that's it's a 3-card pull, and now I'm also pulling a couple of my Gypsy Witch cards in here to kind of clarify things and add a couple of anecdotal things. I've had people ask me about astrological things and signs and omens and portents and stuff, so I bring the Gypsy Witch cards into this, and we're having a little more fun. But 3-card pull, 1 main card, 2 qualifier cards that help explain what the main card is for the day. This is a general read, and though a lot of people find very specific meaning in it, sometimes it might be off for you, of course, but this is the general forces that are out there, and for you to be aware of what might be hidden or not quite clear to you. So let's, without further ado, Lord, I'm getting more and more Southern, even though I have my thick New York accent, which I think I don't have until I say things like drawer, bureau, Yonkers. Anyway. But I can be quite affected if I try really hard and say things like the drawer in Yonkers. But enough of that. Enough of foolishness at 12:30ish at night. And also, can I ask you guys a quick question to help me? These uploads on these videos are hellacious. Nothing seems to work. I shoot these on my iPhone, of all things. It's a good camera. But the uploads to YouTube, so any questions that could be answered about this, let them know. Put them in the comments. How I can upload easier, what formats I should use, things along those lines, or send me some private messages. Anyway, without further ado, I've adoed quite a few times tonight, right? You don't say without further ado. Well, without further ado, our main card tonight is going to be the 8 of Rods. 8 of Rods is interesting. It's about organization in business and in creation of things, but it's also, interesting enough, about being blocked by having too much organization. In other words, you build a wall, you build a gate, as it were, by having all your things laid out in front of you, organized and set up, and you realize you almost paint yourself into a corner. So that's a little bit what's going on today, and this is kind of fitting this time of the year, especially with the holiday coming up. We tend to get everything organized and done, and then we realize we've painted ourselves in the corner. We have nowhere to go. And that's a little bit this main focus of this is today. Well, let's see what this is really about. Is this personal, relationship, business, general, people, attitudes? So that's what the qualifier cards are for. And I'm going to just give these guys a quick turn without looking. I like to just kind of feel them in my hands, and then when a card jumps, like this one, it's the Knight of Rods, which is a great card. Knight of Rods signifies a young, strong force in the workplace, about getting things done, but being proud of what you do, taking pride in workmanship. But it's young. It's not a king. It's not a queen or king that's been fully achieved what they've done. They're working their way up, and it's not a page either, which is the Page of Rods is which was in yesterday's read, is the fool with a job. Like the wanderer, that's just a happy wanderer, is now risen up a level. So now we have the next step, which is nice to see. It's in consecutive order. We have the Knight of Rods. The Knight of Rods is taking work more seriously, and also being able to show better benefits. Like he's made more money. He's got a better portfolio. His work is easy to see. So that's great to see that these things here. And it's a great anecdote. It's one, Knight of Rods carries 1 rod to sometimes clear the clutter out. To find one thing you're great at, as opposed to, jack of all trades, master of none. This is sort of saying, pick the one thing you're really good at, or at least for the day, pick the one thing that you're best at. that you feel that you were proudest of. So, our next card, our final qualifier, is this card. Two of Swords. Interesting card. It's a little bit of like blind justice. It's choosing between two major things. With your eyes closed, it's about letting intuition guide you. It's about being, the two swords in front of you act as, it protects you. So it represents sometimes insecurity, about putting a shield up and not making choices because you just close your eyes to them and let the choices make themselves. So we have a very interesting day here today. So, but this comes more and more clarification on this day. It's more about the workplace and what you do for a living and how you do for a living, as opposed to interpersonal relationships. So our Eight of Rods goes back to too much order makes chaos. Too much order makes a trap. We have to kind of loosen things up, find our prime, our prime directive, our Optimus Prime, to make a crappy reference to a mediocre movie. Anyway, but the Two of Swords shows on the other side of it, maybe your deeper, your subconscious reasons why you're not making these choices, why you're kind of building up too many obstacles, is that you don't want to make the hard choices. You feel like you're going to be cut by either of them. Or you feel like it's been working, so you're leaving it to stay. But you can't make progress in this life if you're not willing to make sacrifice and to gamble. And this is what this is saying. Find the one true calling, the one true meaning in life here that really works for you. Stick with that. Don't close your eyes and let it make its choices for you. Be proactive in these choices. Now that's all said and done. We do have to deal with some of the subconscious energy in here about having to make choices that are hard and you don't want to make them, and maybe sticking with things longer than you should. And that can be all right on small things. It's, we don't have to make, everything doesn't have to be, not every choice has to be Sophie's choice. Look it up if you don't know what Sophie's choice is. You should. At this point, if you're following me, you should know I'm full of dark, hilariously dark references to movies that other people found sad and terrifying. I find dark humor in them all the time. And I use the term, and I diverge for a second. But don't make me make a Sophie's choice over cheese. Like, it's about like, if I go to the store, I want to have enough money on me. If I want to buy 2 expensive pieces of cheese, I don't have to make Sophie's choice. Yes, in the movie, she chose between her 2 children. One of them was going to die in a concentration camp. I am comparing that to expensive cheese. So yes, I am a bit flippant and a bit dark. That's who I am. I am Joe Netherworld. I am Magister Netherworld in the Church of Satan. I am the head of the witchcraft district in upstate New York. So yes, I have a dark sense of humor. So today, let us not make everything Sophie's choice. Sometimes you just do what you know you have to do and stop lamenting over all these choices. Don't force yourself to take a Silkwood shower out of fear and loathing. And now I'm really referencing. You should know what Silkwood is and what Silkwood shower is. They made fun of it in Seinfeld, which hopefully you're watching that too. But anyway. I've got a whole bunch of references, and I'm sure you'll get sick and tired of hearing them all. But you might enjoy the ride as we get there. So that's our basic tarot reading for the day. It's pretty good. It just requires some work from you, and it's great. We're heading right before 4th of July, right, which is a major holiday. And whether you celebrate it or not, it's a major holiday in the country, so it changes our availability and such, and it's a line in the sand about getting things done. So organize your true feelings and your true calling, and stick with the one great thing as opposed to having 8 things blocking your path. Too many decisions mean no decisions at all. Well, let's see what this Gypsy Witch deck has to say, because I love the specifics of this deck. It's so ridiculously specific and meant to be read almost like a board game. But I find that they speak to me. And so we have our number is, forgive me, I'm a little bit blind here from this light summit. It's number 19, which is it's the Gentleman. It's also the 2 of Hearts. And this means all kinds of good things in a sense, whether the hat is next to you or away from you. But really it's about coupling, making romance connections. Can be tricky, can be formal. So there's a lot of formality in our romances today. And, so if that's what you're up to as we get into the 4th of July, this formality issues as they happen, but roll with them. I think this is, this card represents the gentleman whose fortune is being told. So if I were to make this into a more personal thing, it's about you individually today. Today is not about group decisions. It's about decisions you're making for you. So let's find this one true calling today. Before the 4th of July comes, it's Independence Day, right? Before we celebrate our independence on Friday, let's celebrate what we depend on, what our main calling is in life today. So take some time, clear that up. Follow my crazy wanton instructions on how to live your life. I know they work for me. But then again, I am a unique creature. Many things work for me that don't work for everybody else. But we all must find our callings in life. I have found mine, and one of my great pleasures is to sit with you for a little while and share some insight, some reading, some humor, some darkness, some lightness, all those good things, right? So have a magical day today. Of course, we'll meet again sometime around midnight. I'm getting back in the groove of these things. The card has just jumped. We're going to leave that for tomorrow. Card jumped. I'm going to pick it up and photograph it, but you're not going to see it until tomorrow's read. Have a great night.